Welcome to Behind the Bower, the podcast where we explore the creative heartbeat of our community right here through Bower Center for the Arts. I'm your host, Susan Martin, Executive Director of the Bower Center. And in each episode, we shine a light on artists, performers, educators, and community organizations that are shaping our region through the universal language of arts, culture, and just in general in growing our community. So today we're going to dive into a story that beautifully blends science, nature, education, and a passion for the community. So I'm thrilled to have Trish Cerulli with me. She's the founder of the Cloverlea Foundation, correct?
Yes, that's right. Thank you for having me.
You're also, I pulled stuff from the website, said that you're an environmental advocate, that you're a science educator, and a NASA solar system ambassador.
That's right.
That's awesome. So we might get into that. So today, whether you're an art lover or a nature enthusiast or just curious about the wonders that are happening right here in your own backyard, we hope that you'll enjoy this conversation to learn more about what's going on here in our community and what's going on with the Cloverlea Foundation. So welcome.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we're excited to talk about the things that we're doing and the great things that Bedford is doing as a collective towards sustainability.
Awesome. So we always just like to start out by having our guests kind of introduce themselves. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I am Trish Cerulli, and I'm a resident of Bedford and have been in the Bedford community in various capacities with the Rotary Club, as well as working at the Claytor Nature Center several years back as the outreach coordinator from 2018 to 22. And I was married at the Claytor Nature Center and spent a lot of time there. Really, that place holds a piece of my heart. And a group of people who love that place have worked to found an organization to support and advocate for the resource that it is for the Bedford community.
Awesome. So today, specifically, we're going to talk a little bit about the Cloverlea Foundation. Tell a little bit about what its role is and how does it aim to honor Boyd Claytor's legacy at the Claytor Nature Center?
Yeah, so the Nature Center property was called Cloverlea Farm by the Claytors, which the Bedford community has known the Claytors for a long time. They were the owners of Southern Flavorings just down the street here. And Boyd and Virginia Claytor bought that farm back in the 50s. And they didn't have any children. So when they were estate planning, he recognized that he wanted to leave the Nature Center to an institution that would forever keep it available for the community, for public and academic use for nature education and appreciation. So he gifted the property to Lynchburg College back in the late 90s.
Okay.
And the University of Lynchburg has done an amazing job over the last 25 plus years to create the Claytor Nature Center in Boyd's vision.
Right.
And when I was there as the outreach coordinator, we, continued to make it available for the community through programs. And there's 8 miles of hiking trails. And it was recognized, after I left, plus over the last few years, that the Nature Center is such a community resource that it would be amazing to have an external support system for the Claytor Nature Center. The University of Lynchburg, again, is the landholder and has built this amazing facility with resources, but having somewhat of a supportive organization, almost like a Friends of organization, to help the Nature Center with operations and volunteering and basic caretaking, as well as hosting some programs. That's what our intention is to do, to continue that vision as a helping hand to the university.
Okay. Can you share, I know that the mission emphasizes environmental education and sustainability. What are some programs or initiatives that, are either currently taking place or, that you're hoping for in the future?
Yeah, so this year, as we are building our foundation and our membership, we're really focusing on relationship building this year with mission-aligned organizations that are already doing really important work and maybe hosting their own programs like the Sedalia Center or the Bedford YMCA. And we are hosting events at Claytor Nature Center individually on a monthly basis from us, but also working to create relationships with those external partners who are doing similar work that all have some touch or focus on sustainability in some kind.
Mm-hmm.
So, for instance, already this year, we hosted a land conservation easement panel discussion in February. Last month, we hosted a stargazing night at the Belk Observatory to just talk about the wonders of our universe and how it's all related. What happens here on our planet is, we can learn about the cosmos and different things about ourselves and our future from learning about other things in astronomy.
Right.
And this month, we are going to be hosting a trail cleanup later on Earth Day, which is next Tuesday at 3 p.m. at Claytor Nature Center to help get them prepared during the spring season. The University of Lynchburg is planning a reopening event to the community on May 31st, and we're hoping that we'll be able to play a big part in that by helping as well and still working out the details of what that partnership looks like.
Right. Awesome.
Yeah, we have several events also planned throughout the rest of the year. We're going to do a Healthy Streams program for kids in the summertime.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do a soil health and regenerative agriculture program later that can have local landowners or farmers come in and test their soil or learn about how to test their soil if they want to. So it really reaches all demographics and has this central focus on sustainability and using Claytor Nature Center as a place for those programs.
Awesome. I'm sitting here making notes because we have 2 summer camps that we're working on right now. And one of them's a cosmic rewind. And so it's going to be, focused on obviously things that are going on in the universe. And it would be really cool to have a guest or
we would love
something.
That.
Yeah. If we could manage it, we are doing walking field trips within our community with our summer campers this year. I'm sitting here and my brain's spinning as to how we might get them transportation out to visit during the summer camp, because we're also doing one related to our land and growing. We are doing some partnerships. We're actually going to be creating a garden at the Bauer Center during that week as well. So I'm like sitting here thinking there might be some opportunity to do some little collaborations this summer.
And that's really another point of why we thought it would be important to have this external community-focused organization that not only showcases Claytor as a resource, but also brings people together, because we're all working toward these common good goals. And if we can focus inward on the Bedford community and have us all work together not even despite our differences, but because of our differences, we can be stronger together and really make a difference and show Bedford, or show the wider region, that Bedford can be an example of communities coming together, working toward this sustainable vision.
Right. Yeah, I think it's so important. And that's part of what our goal is, especially with these podcasts and the work that we do at Bauer Center, is collaborating with the other organizations and entities in our community for the greater good, but to work together. There are always ways that you can collaborate and, bring more out to the community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. One of our partners that we're already collaborating with, especially for programs at the observatory, but also even wider in the whole community, is the Blue Ridge Astronomy Club.
Mm-hmm.
So if for some reason transportation doesn't work out to get out to the Belk Observatory, I could check in with the folks at the Astronomy Club to see if a few local astronomers could come to your camp.
Okay. Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, some of the projects that we do are going to relate, while not everything is art specifically related. We do a lot of things that are science and engineering, and we believe in STEAM, not just STEM, with the arts involved, and so we do a lot of that through our summer youth programming. So that would be wonderful.
I think my kids who are sitting right outside probably are going to sign up for one.
That would be awesome. So tell me a little bit about there was some maybe some historical artifacts at the Claytor Nature Center or near the home, or some things that have been uncovered. Talk a little bit about those discoveries and how that contributes to the foundation.
Yeah, that's been a little bit of a passion project of mine. When I was there as the outreach coordinator, I just was curious because the caretaker, Maggie Lyle, who is an amazing Bedford community person as well, said that there was still quite a bit of things left up in the attic after Mr. Claytor passed away. So we went up there one fall season, and there were still lots of things up there. There was a stamp collection that he had collected from the city of Bedford, or the town, which used to be called Liberty. So there's these postcards and stamps dating back to the late 1800s, as well as his World War II memorabilia and his uniform. He
Wow.
served he was on the air crew of bombers in the Pacific tour of World War II. And so we'd love to connect with with the D-Day Memorial, especially with their expansion, and have a little, maybe small exhibit for Mr. Claytor's World War II, contributions. And there's these beautiful original blueprints of the house and the exterior landscape architecture and exterior components of the decorations on the house, or the architectural decorations that I had envisioned maybe printing. And it just, you feel like you're walking into a time capsule when you're able to open up all of those things. So part of our mission is not just environmental sustainability and stewardship, but also cultural stewardship.
Yep.
And understanding the impact and the importance that the Claytor family had on the Bedford community, and tying his memories and his vision and importance here into the work that we do as well. So we're working to develop a volunteer team that's specifically for history and cultural stewardship, not only of the Claytors, but the original Indigenous people and enslaved people that were part of the property before the Civil War. There's a family cemetery, and we see some unmarked graves there that we would like to just hypothesize about and think about honoring the history of all the people that have been a part of the Cloverlea farm.
Right. I think that's amazing. That's something that at the Bauer Center for the Arts we've been working towards. And again, that would be a great partnership because, the space that we are located in is a historic church originally. We've uncovered a lot of really unique and neat things about the building itself. And then also have a lot of the information dating back to the early 1800s and the family that helped create the church, and some really unique historical information about the church related to it being one of the first churches that allowed African Americans to attend the church, hence the balcony seating types of things that we want to also, while we are an arts and cultural community center, we also want to be a part of the history of the community. And we would love to see there be more historical tours or opportunities to bring a different audience into the community, but also expose our current community to more of the history of our community.
Yeah, it's important. As a scientist, when I was in grade school and secondary school, history wasn't ever my favorite topic. But now that I am immersed in the community, I recognize and appreciate the history so much more.
Right.
To be able to learn from your past and be able to honor and recognize the impacts that people before you have had.
Exactly. And I think that youth in our community, like you said, history may have not been your favorite subject. It was definitely not mine either. But when you learn about it in the community that you're born and raised in, you have a closer tie to it. And I think that also grows your interest.
Yeah.
Not just locally, but, beyond. So, yeah, I love to hear all of the great opportunities that are going to be coming down the...
Yeah, thank you. We have... obviously, the programs that I've mentioned, we're planning to host every month. We are, again, still in the conversations to define what the partnership will look like between the University of Lynchburg and Cloverlea Foundation, but we definitely want to have volunteer opportunities. We also have access to an adjacent parcel, which we've begun calling Peaksville Place, which is touching Claytor Nature Center on the northern side of the property and owned by one of our board members, Bob Kibler. So we'll be hosting some programs out there. We have some great ideas there. But we also have membership because, again, this is somewhat like a friends of organization.
Right.
And so we will have membership options to join our efforts, and people can join for various different reasons and at different levels. We do have a volunteer level that is, if people want to volunteer, we never want cost to be a barrier for people to participate.
Right.
Because time and talents are very valuable, and we recognize that and want to honor that through other opportunities. So we're having this volunteer trail cleanup day at Claytor on Earth Day. And we've said that if you join us before Earth Day, you'll be considered a founding member, but membership will continue to be open at the different levels. And we also have community partnership opportunities. Again, some at what we're calling the operational level are these reciprocal, our community will help you, your community will help us type of concept.
Right.
And then we also have some contribution, both at the in-kind or service-based contribution level or financial, to help us, raise some funds for the programmings and the opportunities that we are trying to build an amazing vision for.
Awesome. That's amazing. Where can individuals find more information related to the foundation itself and the membership opportunities?
Yeah, our website has a great, gamut of information on the vision that we're building and ways to get involved, which is www.cloverleafoundation.org. And that's CLOVERLEA foundation.org.
Awesome.
And we're excited for everything we have coming up and want to help the community grow and make Bedford an exemplary, sustainable town.
Awesome. So before we wrap up, tell our listeners a little bit about what's involved with being a NASA Solar System Ambassador, because that's just extremely interesting to me.
Yeah, so my background is actually in chemistry and astronomy. That's what I went to college and grad school for. And the first time I ever went to the Claytor Nature Center was at nighttime to help out at the Belk Observatory.
Mm-hmm.
And then every time after, I fell in love with the place even more, to where my husband and I got married there, and lots of different things. But astronomy and space science has been a passion of mine for a long time. So that's what I do in the community now. I help Randolph College as the assistant director of their science festival and help with their observatory as well. And trying to make these connections with other space-related opportunities with the Astronomy Club and local observatory and space events. And that outreach component of space science and astronomy has, again, been a key part of my passions. Mm-hmm. And a friend of mine from the Roanoke area shared with me the NASA Space Science Space Ambassador program. And I joined NASA, and I get special training and materials and things to host programs to be able to share about our country's space exploration administration. Mm-hmm. And really get people excited about science. And about space science. And this is such an amazing and exciting time for space exploration.
Absolutely.
With the Artemis missions and our attempt to get to Mars. And so that program allows me to have NASA resources and training mm-hmm. to then bring back out into the community through outreach events.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, collaborations are just spinning in my head.
Yes, I know. There's so much potential.
There's so much potential. So really appreciate that. As we're wrapping up, is there anything final that you'd like to share related to the Cloverlea Foundation or anything else that's going on?
I think just remember that, Bedford has so many beautiful natural resources, and the Claytor Nature Center is just one of them. And if we can all come together to protect those resources and understand and appreciate environmental stewardship and sustainability, I really think that Bedford will, continue to be, and even more so, this amazing sustainability destination. And that's one of the big goals for the Cloverlea Foundation, is to have our community come together and then help people well beyond the Bedford community recognize that we are something special.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Thank you so much for spending some time with us this morning. It's been wonderful to connect and learn more about the science, the history, and everything that's going on out there, and looking forward to more to come in the near future. At Behind the Bower, as a reminder, we believe in celebrating the many ways creativity and the curiosity together can shape meaningful experiences in our community. And today's conversation was a great example of that. As a reminder, if you'd like to learn more about the Cloverlea Foundation and the work at the Claytor Nature Center, be sure to visit cloverleafoundation.org. And for all the information related to Bauer Center for the Arts, our upcoming classes, concerts, and events, please visit bowercenter.org. So until next time, we hope that you will keep exploring, keep creating, and keep celebrating the art that lives within and all around all of us. So we're just very passionate about working together, collaborations, and building a better community for everyone. So thank you for listening.